March 18th, 8:02 a.m. Eastern time, and this is Oklahoma City. So it's only 7:02. Actually, wait a second. No, it's 8:02 because of course all these gadgets they switch automatically. They switch their time zone. And I'm at the shipper. In the distance there's Loves flying JTA, and there's another pilot on the other side, so that's where I spend the night over there. Grabbed the coffee at McDonald's Americano and drove 2.2 kilometers, or just over 1 mile over here, and been here half an hour. They said park like this next to the building, somebody will come and get you. Alright, all hooked up, just waiting for the guy to escort me to the exit over there. So I got my sign, got a bunch of flags, but I think I'm one flag short because you want to have them around like 20 feet when it's super long. And I got lucky is that as usual they did not know the exact dimensions. They told me it was 14.3, and I was really nervous, but they removed they call it the feeder. It's like this part over here, and that one is even taller, and so they removed all that, and that piece is 16,000 pounds, and so the load in the back dropped. But I think now I think I have a bit too much on the truck, so I might need to move it. I don't know, but I mean there's no way to redistribute the weight except I can play with my fifth wheel. That will only help with the steer axle and the drives, right? Like if there's, let's say, 200,000 pounds on the truck, there's nothing I can do. But anyway, so it's I'm like 95 feet long from bumper to bumper, so I will need escorts in some states. And the highest point I checked with the guys, it was that conveyor, the white thing on top of the conveyor, and I climbed in there, and guess what, it's 13 feet 4 inches. And he says that's why they're using these 295 75 R22.5 tires, because they're lower, you know. And so it's 11.11 wide. I mean, sorry, actually, yeah, and they told me it was 11.11 wide. Turns out it's at 11.7, and I double checked, no, 11.7. But you know, as long as you're under 12, you're okay. But yeah, the length will trigger some nasty business with escorts. So, which reminds me, my CB radio for some reason doesn't work. Like I can hear other people, but when I try to communicate, nothing gets out, you know. Maybe it's because of my Russian accent, I'm not sure, because recently you've been leaving a lot of comments. Maybe the accent gets worse when it's more than 20 years in the country. I'm not sure. This is my first time in a foreign country, living for 20 years, so I'm not an expert, you know. So you guys know best, right? Especially you guys that know 3, 4, 5 languages. You tell me. Anyway, so this is what it is. It's a garbage recycle plant on its own chassis. I love when they have all these flat surfaces, you know. So I attach it like this. I'm gonna put a flashing light in here. I'm pretty sure that's required when you're this long. And I think I want to put one more flag on the other side, because you see I have a bunch of flags. And over here everything is hydraulic, like the legs, just kind of like the. Check this out. They have all these more plants over there. I just saw one guy drag one brand new one from there, like, but the smaller one. So like you can tell by the axles, when they're super heavy they have 4 axles, and this is about 109, like I said, right? So basically the plan now is I'm gonna wait for the guy, because we need to check if I'm too close. I'm gonna show you in a second. There's some parts that can hit the truck, but I need to go this way, like where that forklift is going in the distance. Go this way, and that's the scale. They said that's an illegal scale. Well, I'm joking, but they said it's not calibrated, it's not CAT certified, but he says they're positive it's pretty accurate. And there's a little office over there. Shows you the weights. I'll just have to split my weights because I'm too long to measure everything together, but you know, this will be cool. And so this way I will know if I need to move my truck, you know, if I have too much on the front, because Oklahoma only gives me like, unless you want to wait 3 days or 5 days for a bridge review, they only give you 15,000 on the front. See these massive lags? That's what it was sitting like this. And you see they have these handy instructions: keep hands clear of moving parts. That's a good tip. All right, and so lucky for me, there's lots of room. Like, unlike that other machine for the cheaper guy, right, there's no room in the back. I couldn't come any closer, right? So there was too much weight on the drives, not enough on the truck, right? So this one, what is this? Oh, that's just some kind of a sticker. So yeah, I can definitely come closer, but that will only increase the weight on the steer, and I don't want to do that. But you see over here, that can be the problem. So first of all, like, basically the guy will come back. I said, come back, check with me like in half an hour. So we want to see how this thing behaves when I start turning, because I have to turn left here, like a very sharp turn. And first of all, this thing can hit the tank, which is not a good idea. And then that one can hit the cab, right? And so we want to make sure that there's, you know, at least a few inches over there, right? But this is a pretty sharp turn, 90 degrees, so this will be a good test. And these guys will keep an eye for me. And then if it's about to hit, I'm gonna stop back in here. I'm gonna drop the legs, drop the suspension, or drop the suspension then drop the legs, and just raise it a little bit so I can release my fifth wheel and slide forward a bit, you know. So that's the plan, boys and girls. So it's gonna be an exciting journey. But I'm so happy that it's legal height. Jeez, it means I can go on well, maybe not, but you know, some tollways they will let you go unless they have restrictions against weight. But height is the biggest concern, because I'm going to Canada, right? And you know, before you reach Canada, you have New York State, and New York has pretty low bridges over there. Well, you see this thing? It's funny. I was parked over there, right? Where the blue truck is now, but on this side. And this thing was in the very end. And the mic says, okay, let's go. Maybe you want to scale now? Because we're waiting for one more part. One more part is coming. And I look at this, and I saw this huge crawler crane. And I told Mike, I said, you want me to wait for this, because we're gonna slow this guy down? And he says, oh, if you're gonna wait for this guy, you're gonna wait all day. So imagine, I went a scale, right? We raised the legs, we moved the fifth wheel by probably like a couple of inches forward, but that's it. That's all I can do, because the front was a bit light. And then I had to go around the plant on the service road, enter, and then I could make the turn over there. It was too tight. The guy had to move again. There was a frame like this. The guy Mike had to get out his big forklift, and he moved that frame on so I can make the corner. And this guy now only is entering the door. So basically, when you drive a crawler crane, you know, you cannot beat any speed records. That's for damn sure. Alright, so they had an extra piece coming in. I was afraid I would have to wait till the end of the day, because the guy said he had no clue when it's coming. It's some kind of like a bar, you know, about 55 feet long, and they just dropped it on the machine, so I put a strap around it. I don't know, there's nowhere to put it. Such a big machine, and they only have one toolbox. He says before they used to be much smaller, and that's where we would put it. We put it in the toolbox, and he showed me on the passenger side. But now he says it's much bigger. Just as I was about to leave, the Terex 4-axle crane is coming up, and you see that this one is actually much faster than the crawler crane that went in there somewhere. I love these. These are about 80,000 pounds. And they look small, but once you put it on the deck, you know, front of the frame to the end is going to be pretty much almost 26 feet. Oh, by the way, saw a local truck here. A guy was unloading that blue Peterbilt, right? I talked to the guy and, you know, shared with him my problems with the truck specs, you know, in Quebec and some other places, and looked at his truck and measured his spacing, because he had pretty much the same setup like my truck. He had the same tires, Bridgestone, you know, those EL, the same 11R 42.5s, but, and he had the same 425 single axle pusher, and I think his front was 20K as well. And he said now they discovered they cannot go into California. You know, this is Oklahoma, right? So they want to be able to do that. And he says now they discovered they need to change the pusher axle tires from 425 to 445. This window, you know, helps me see the blind side. Just testing the crane. I was waiting for it. I heard that beeping, right? I thought it was leaving. So 95 feet long, 11 feet 7 inches wide, legal height. And so off the top of my head, I'm thinking which states would require. Oh yeah, this one was very slow, but that's a monster. That thing alone, without the boom, I think it's probably like 60 tons at least. That's the future of heavy haul TV. But before we gotta get more axles. You know, usually I am careful on turns, right? But I don't think I ever drove something this long, you know. And so that small mirror, because I got that bent mirror over there, that one helps a lot. And so here I have to go again super wide because of these things right here. But second time it's already easier because I went through here to scale, right? And I'm watching the bottom mirror. We are good. Oh wow, check this out. They have these special trailers with 4-tire dolly in the front. This is a very interesting plant. I don't think I ever saw such a variety of different machines, because you know they make over here they make these cranes, like you saw that one, right? That Terex crane. Then they make these portable plants like the one I'm hauling, and you see them over here. And then they make all kinds of all-terrain you know, zoom booms. This Jenny, that's also that brand. You see, that thing can turn pretty much on a dime, because all wheels turn. Well, they should, I think, but I'm pretty sure I loaded these a couple of times, right? I know you can control which, you know, how many wheels steer. It's like very cool. So you can choose the front axle. Oh, you see, I see he's turning. All the wheels are turning. So he can choose only one axle to steer, or two, or both, and he can make it go sideways. Like, this thing is really, you know, amazing. Like for maneuverability, you know, for a construction site. Oh geez. And this storage yard goes like at least quarter of a mile down that way. And so yeah, more cranes, more forklifts, and I see they have these chassis over here, right? So I guess they'll be dual steer. They'll probably be installing some cranes on them. Oh, my truck, right? T800, except that it's T800. Oh wow, tri-drive with twin steer. Wow, that must be something really, you know, whatever they're gonna put on it, it's gonna be something real heavy. But that's what you need for Western Canada, you know, Western Canada and Quebec. And I've been thinking about these tri-drives, of course, except they're very heavy. And a friend of mine from Florida made a suggestion. He says you can buy these and just make one of the axles like a dud, you know, dead axle. It's pretty much like the same as pusher axle, except that it's there and it's permanently connected to the chassis, but it's not connected to the engine, or, you know, there's no drive shaft. And he said this would reduce the weight and reduce the cost. And so I went online and I searched for tri-drive definition, you know, the definition of a tri-drive truck in Alberta. And guess what? In black and white, there's one short sentence that crosses out that option with a dead axle. It says in a real tri-drive, and though only those are accepted in Western Canada, in a real tri-drive, all axles must drive. That's how they phrase it. All axles must drive. Now here, I wanted to show you guys this tricky corner over here. So we go like this, all the way to the right. Try not to hit the fence, right? And then you go as far forward as possible, as long as you can make that turn, so that your front right tire does not go into the fence. And I keep it as close to the fence as possible. And you can see some poles are damaged in there because other guys had to do the same thing. Because if you don't, I'm looking at the bottom mirror, the trailer axles go in the dirt over there, and it's all like this, hilly. Oh, wow, this time I did it better, because last time there's a hole in there, you know, like for some rainwater or something, and it covered with the lid. And last time my rear tire went over it. Now of course that's not a good idea, because it is pretty strong, but still you don't want to damage that pipe in there, right? And so now I went a bit further this way. So it's like I feel like a ship captain now, you know, like I was a captain, but I was thinking of myself more like an Air Force captain, because my late dad was a pilot in the military, right? But this particular trip, we are like a naval troops. Navy. And this is I-40, and that pilot on the other side is where I spent the night. Went into that tire place, Goodyear. I said, can you guys check my tire pressure? They said, no, we're closing. It was like 5:30 in the evening. I said, well, you open at 7. How about we can I book the appointment and then just so that I'm first here at 7 o'clock? Because the sunrise was at like 7:30, and I didn't want to come here. You see, it's right across the, so I was sleeping there and I'm loading here. Very nice. But I didn't want to come here before 7:30, and I thought, you know, 30 minutes, well, 30 minutes of course would not be enough to check all my 4 axles, but you know, it's been a while since I checked them, and now the temperature is changing. But the guy says, no, we don't book appointments. Like, you know, just write my name, my truck number, my cell phone, right? And I said, I'll be there at 7 o'clock. No, we don't do it like that. All right, have a good day. You know? And I was parked this way over there. But it's pretty small. And I don't want to go to the other side of the freeway, because I'll be taking this service road, because that's east. You know, and it's pretty convenient. And this Love's over here is right next to the plant, but it only, Trucker Path says it only has 20 spots, and with my length, I checked the satellite photos, you know, when I was sitting there waiting for that part. I checked the satellite photos. They only have parking like this. You know, you have to back towards the curb, you know, and with me being 95 feet long, that's not good. Like, I want to pull through parking where I can just take 2 spots. Actually, I saw people park here, actually. Maybe that's what I can do. Yeah, I saw a guy. No, forget it. Yeah, when I was checking the satellite photos, I saw a picture of a truck parked in the curb lane right next to the truck stop. But what's cool here is that you don't have to go anywhere, you just go straight through this light. And again, I did my homework and I found out, so that's how you enter, you know, the Flying J. And I thought, hey, okay, if Love's is too small, we'll just go here. And they have that big, I don't know, nitrogen fuel station in the back of the Pilot. And normally there's space in there. And again, I checked on the satellite. Oh, and I see dual track FedEx coming out, so there must be enough space in there. So that's the plan. Park there and go grab some pancakes. I think I deserve that, because there's no food at the Love's, but they have some kind of a restaurant here. Okay, hold on. So how do we? It's best to enter from here or from the other way? I think we'll go here. Yeah, you see, like, this is really, oh, this is really big. Now, where can we park here? Wow, I really have to go super wide. So maybe I'll park in there in the corner, you know. I'm gonna kick that guy out of there, because yeah, if I go into, basically if I go into any of these spaces, yeah, there can be room in there, but then how do I get out, right? Because I need a lot of space for the rear wheels. Yeah, I cannot park against the curb, I'm too long. Oh yeah, so we're gonna park like this. Beautiful. Then I hoped I could find something. Oh, another fontaine. Yeah, we're gonna park like with my back this way, and this way will be good, and we'll be able to leave. But of course, for me to leave, I cannot stay too close here, and so I think actually it's good that this guy is here. So I just want to pull forward, but geez, this thing takes so much space, you know, to go in a, like from a curve to go in a straight line. All right, somewhere like this. Park here. This is a good spot for this super long load. I hope these guys will be able to get out. Alright, this is it, boys and girls. So we're gonna finish the movie here, and then once I start driving, we'll do another one. So this is it. Of course, one other way would be to take four spots, you know, if I go pull through 2 spots and then stay in the middle. But again, I won't be able to get out. I'm serious. Like even here, for me to get out here, I would have to go like this towards that red truck and then this way. Otherwise, my rear wheels will hit that pole. Look, I already know. You know, one cool thing about these, when you haul a load like this, is you do a couple of turns, you know, and when you have experience, like, you know, I have experience, right? Once you do a couple of turns and you go around a couple of corners, right away you know how to set up your truck before the turn, because, you know, you get a feeling, you know, the way the wheels are go in the back there. Because like with this truck, I need a really, you know, super wide turn, so I cannot go anywhere where it's too narrow, because I need to set up the truck, you know, like this. So yeah, it's gonna be an exciting trip. Thanks for watching.